The wood is splintering. The chair, it's the only thing holding the bedroom door. Behind it, something is vibrating. A wet, mechanical hum that makes the floorboards shudder. I can't breathe. The air smells like burnt hair and ozone. I have 30 seconds, maybe less. I shouldn't have answered the fourth question. The window is wide open behind me. The curtains are whipping like ghosts, but I can't look. I can't look back. It started 3 days ago, in this same room. Everything was normal. Empty beer cans, stale pizza, the hum of a laptop that wouldn't stop glowing. I was desperate. The kind of desperation that tastes like copper in your mouth. My bank account was a zero, a hollow, staring eye. I just wanted a few dollars, just enough to keep the lights on, to keep the silence from getting too loud. I found the portal at the bottom of a dead link. The interface was clinical, brutalist, black text on a white background that burned my retinas. The first inquiries were mundane. Age, height, weight. I typed the numbers, my fingers clicking like dry bones. It felt like progress, like I was finally being noticed. The pay meter at the bottom of the screen began to tick upward, cents turning into dollars, dollars turning into a reason to stay awake. I didn't see the trap yet. Then, the pivot. The machine stopped asking for facts. It asked for feelings. How strong is your urge to look behind you right now? My heart gave a singular, heavy thud. The room felt colder, like someone had opened a freezer door. I stared at the text. Neutral. I clicked neutral, but my skin began to prickle. 1,000 tiny needles. My neck felt vulnerable, exposed, like a cord waiting to be cut. The screen didn't wait. Why would you look behind you? I typed, I don't know. My hands were clammy. The plastic of the keyboard felt slick, like it was sweating. I forced myself to sit still. The air was heavy, the smell of old dust rising from the vents. I told myself it was a script, a trick, a psychological profile. But the darkness in the corner of the room, it felt thicker, more intentional. The questions became scenarios. You are on a plane. Excluding you, there is only one passenger seated behind you. You return from the lavatory, and the seat is empty. Where is he? I felt the pressure in my ears. A low-frequency hum began to vibrate through my teeth. I typed the same answer. I don't know. But I did know. He wasn't in his seat because he was already standing in the aisle right behind me. Question 4. The woods. Night. A cabin 30 feet away, illuminated by a dying bulb. A woman, smiling, gesturing you to enter. Do you go? I felt a sudden hot flash, like a fever. I typed yes, because the woods, the dark, was worse. I realized then the survey wasn't testing my personality. It was mapping my weaknesses. It was learning how to herd me, like cattle, into a pen. The speed increased. My eyes were burning, red-rimmed and dry. Suppose an elevator appears in your house. Every midnight it opens to show a copy of you, more mutilated than before. Do you enter or endure? I felt like I was suffocating. The room was shrinking. The wallpaper were peeling back like dead skin. I couldn't stop clicking. I needed the money. I needed the end. I was exhausted. The phone rang. It was loud, like a gunshot. The caller ID said, "The auditor." I didn't answer. I couldn't move my arm. A voicemail tone, and then screaming. Not a person, but 100 voices blended into a digital shriek, interspersed with numbers. 8, 14, 0, 2. The sound was wet, like boots stepping in mud. It didn't stop. It just looped, over and over, drilling into my skull. A knock at the door. Not a normal knock. Frantic, rhythmic, thump, 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 thump. I looked through the peephole. A man, his head shaking so fast it was a blur, his mouth moving, saying, "No, no, no." He looked at the lens, right at my eye. He knew I was there. He wasn't a salesman. He was a warning, a biological error. I backed away, tripping over my own feet. I didn't open it. I returned to the screen. I had to. The pay meter was at $900 for a survey. My hands were shaking so bad, the mouse was clicking against the desk. Question 7. You are watching home videos. You see your mother murdered. She laughs at the footage. Is this concern? I started to laugh too. A dry, rattling sound. The survey knew my family. It knew my history. It was pulling my life apart, pixel by pixel. The vent above my head, it began to scrape. Sss, sss, sss. I moved the couch, dragging it across the floor. The sound was grinding, metal on metal. Whatever was in there, it had long fingers. I could hear them clicking against the slats. I didn't look up. I couldn't look up. If I saw it, the survey would change. The questions would become more literal. I kept my eyes anchored to the white screen. Next question. You're in a hotel. A man with no eyes knocks on the glass. He tells you to kill the woman in the bathroom. Do you listen? I don't have a woman in the bathroom. I'm alone. But then I heard the shower, the hiss of water hitting the tiles. My heart stopped. It was impossible. The survey was manifesting the reality as I was reading it. My house was changing, becoming the test. I ran to the bathroom door. I slammed it shut and locked it. The water was still running, a relentless splashing sound that felt heavy, like blood. I went back to the laptop, gasping for air. The room was hot, 90 degrees, and getting hotter. The machine was screaming, its fans spinning so fast it sounded like a jet engine. I reached the end. One final line of text. Don't let them in. They are not to be trusted. Silence. Then another knock. Soft, polite. 3 taps. I looked through the peephole. A woman. Business suit. Sunglasses. It was 90 degrees and she wasn't sweating. She stood perfectly still, like a mannequin left in a hallway. She didn't have a bag. She didn't have a weapon. She just had a piece of paper. She slid it under the door, her fingers never touching the wood. I watched the white slip glide across the carpet. I picked it up. My hand was a blur of motion. The paper was cold, freezing. It smelled like bleach. The handwriting was jagged, like someone had forced the pen through the page. It's lying. Leave your apartment immediately. I looked at the computer screen, then the door. The woman's shadow. It didn't move. She was still there, waiting, just feet away from me. I was the center of a contradiction. The bedroom window clicked. A latch turning, the metal grinding against the frame. I didn't open it. I never opened that window. It was the vent thing. It was inside. I slammed the bedroom door and shoved the chair, the wood groaning like a dying animal. Now, I am in the middle. The woman at the door, the thing in the bedroom, and the machine in front of me. The pay meter is at $10,000, and it's still climbing. The computer, it's typing by itself now. I can hear the keys. Click, click, click. A new question. If both doors lead to a different kind of death, which one do you choose? I can't think. The muttering behind the bedroom door, it's getting louder. It sounds like my own voice, whispering the numbers from the phone call. 8, 14, 0, 2. It's counting down. The screen is changing colors. Red, then a deep, bruised purple. The pay meter has stopped. It says 0. My life, my effort, liquidated. The woman outside has started scratching. I can hear her fingernails peeling the paint off the door. It sounds like dry leaves on pavement. They are talking to each other. The thing in the room and the woman in the hall. They are discussing what to do with my skin. I'm sitting on the floor now. The ozone is so thick I can taste it, like a penny under my tongue. I realize now the survey wasn't about the answers. It was about the time. It was a distraction to keep me sitting in this chair while they moved the pieces into place. I hit rock bottom, and then I kept digging. I dug until I found them, and now they've found me. The chair is slipping. The door is opening just an inch. I can see nothing, just a void that smells like rain and old paper. The muttering has stopped. Everything is silent. Too silent. The computer screen is black, but I can see my reflection in it. Except I'm not sitting in the chair in the reflection. I'm standing in the corner behind myself. Don't look back. If you are reading this, if this log found its way back to the surface, do not look for the advertisement. Do not click the white box. They are building a new map, and they need more points. They are behind you right now. Just keep your eyes on the screen.